Hello, insiders! This week we have a special guest. We've got Henry from the alternative monetization team.
Hi, yep, that's right. Here to talk about a new launch that we've got coming up this week called YouTube Merchandise.
Whoa! We went straight into the lead. I love it. So you, around a year ago, Creator Insider, we had Rohit on the show. And he said, yeah, we're starting to think about alternative monetization and maybe we'll think about merchandise. And it sounds like it's here.
Yes, that's right.
So what exactly are we announcing? What are we launching?
Cool. So exactly as you say, we spent the last year thinking about how creators do offer merchandise and conducting a couple of different experiments and different ways that we could help out. And the experience that we've landed on that we're launching this week is a shelf that appears on the watch page below your videos, and you as a creator can populate that shelf with your merchandise. So there's a very easy setup process where you go into the new version of Creator Studio, you link your YouTube channel with your Teespring, who's our merchandise partner, account, and at that point your merchandise gets piped through from them to YouTube, and then all of your viewers will see this shelf which has all of your products visually displayed below your videos. We think this is a big improvement over the current experience, because today you have description links and you have to plug the merchandise in your video and say, go and click down here. Whereas with the new experience, and instead of having to do that every video, and you still can do that, you just have it visually presented, which saves you having to promote it so often and just kind of makes it more permanent and more consistent for the fans.
Awesome. And does that apply to fans wherever they are, or is it limited to certain geographies?
Yeah, so it's a great question. For this first launch, we're only launching to US-based creators and to US-only viewers. So it's not the ideal experience we want long-term. We want to have it rolled out, to every country where we have creators and every country where we have viewers. But for the time being, it is only going to be US creators and US viewers. But we're hoping to unlock the rest of the world, as soon as we can. We're really prioritizing it.
And with a lot of features for creators lately, they've been kind of rolled out gradually.
Yes.
Is that going to be applied here too? And so who's going to get access?
That's exactly right. So at the moment, the eligibility criteria is that you're based in the US, you're monetizing on YouTube, and you have at least 10,000 subscribers. Now that said, we are rolling it out deliberately because we want to make sure that we gather feedback and catch any issues early. So it won't be available to every single creator in that group immediately this week. The best way to check if you are eligible and you do meet those criteria is to go to the new version of Creator Studio and look on the left-hand side. If you see the monetization tab available, then you can click that and you'll see merchandise there. And that's the best way to know that, yes, I am eligible for the feature. If you don't see it, then the best thing to do is just hold tight. It should be coming soon, and we're doing everything we can to expand the group of creators.
But it's starting to roll out now.
Yes, that's exactly right. And in fact, we've had a trial running with this experience for the last couple of months. The feedback from creators has been really positive. We've had good feedback from viewers as well, and the numbers look really good, driving additional traffic for creators because the shelf is that much more prominent than having to rely on description links. So yeah, rolling out over the next couple of months.
Awesome. So in these early tests, what are some best practices that you could share for those who do enter this program that they can keep in mind so that they can be as successful as possible?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. I think there's a couple of key points to mention to this in terms of best practices to make you be successful as a creator. So the first thing is to remember that it's not just men's t-shirts that consist of merch. You can create merch that applies to every single kind of group of creators and every single group of fans, and all kinds of wacky and weird products. So in addition to basic kind of men's t-shirts or unisex t-shirts, you absolutely got to remember to do women's t-shirts, kids shirts as well, so it appeals to all of your audience. And then in addition to that, you can also offer all kinds of different products, like flags or hoodies or shower curtains. There's all these kind of weird things that you can have out there. So it's great to use just more than the basic t-shirts. The next thing is designs. So instead of just spending 5 minutes to throw something together really quickly, it's worth doing some homework to think about how can I really tie this into my brand as a creator, and how can I make the merch really resonate with my image and my brand on YouTube. And we actually have a program to help with that for larger creators using the feature. So if you have 100,000 subscribers or more, then you're eligible for a design consultation from Teespring, where you can take some ideas for designs and get some light feedback and work on improving them. If you have 500,000 subscribers or more, then you're eligible for full design support. So you can work with a designer from Teespring to kick out your ideas, iterate through them, and get some really high quality designs. Because we've seen time and time again that the merchandise, it really is incredibly important in terms of how many you're actually going to sell. So if you have something that's pretty basic, maybe you get a few sales, but if you really put the effort in, or you work with one of our designers, then your numbers will be much, much better, just because the actual product that you're trying to sell is that much more compelling.
And if you don't have, the 100,000 subs or above, but you do want more help, can you pay Teespring or engage
Absolutely.
them?
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different things that you can do. There's a design support process that Teespring has where you can pay a bunch of designers that they work with, and there's also a huge spectrum of options across the internet of how you can sort of just hire designers to work with. Fiverr is one option where you can go and pay like a relatively low dollar amount, take some of your ideas, or just have a conversation and work with the designer to put something together. There's nothing kind of specific to Teespring and this merch process. You just need some nice graphics that you can take and you can upload them. So it doesn't really matter where you get the design from. Another nice idea that we've seen be very successful is crowdsourcing your designs. So you as a creator can say to your fans, if anyone's got a good idea for some merchandise, submit it to me, tweet it at me, post a comment, however you want to collect the submissions, and then take the most compelling ones, maybe ask your viewers to do a vote, and then you sell the ones that came top of the order.
Cool. How do the economics work? If they use this feature, do they not get as much from Teespring as they would if they went directly to them? Like, how does that work for the creator?
It's a great question. So no, there is no cost to using this program. You get it set up. It's all free. We think there's no disadvantages. And in fact, by using the integration, then you receive a $1 per item bonus for every product that you sell via the shelf. So if you have the merch shelf there below your video, someone clicks on your shirt and they go through and transact, then you receive an additional $1 bonus from YouTube because that sale was directly referred, but there is no cost to you as a creator. Now, to the high level question of how economics in general work, it's kind of up to you to set your profit margins. So when you get started on Teespring, you submit your designs, then you have your products, and you get given a base cost per product. So say a t-shirt may cost $12 for them to print and fulfill. It's then up to you how much you want to charge for that t-shirt. So you could sell it for $15, in which case you just make $3, or you could sell it for $22, $25, and then your profit margin increases. And it's kind of up to you as a creator to get a sense of what's going to work with your fan base, and you can also vary it by design. So you can have kind of a premium design that sells for a little bit more, maybe on a higher quality tee, and you can have a more basic design which sells for a little bit less, and maybe can appeal to a broader audience. And it's worth mentioning that there's no kind of minimum size of creator that we see as successful. So you could have a relatively small audience. Obviously, we do still have the 10,000 subscriber eligibility requirement, but above that, then there's no kind of requirements like, oh, you've got to have tons and tons of subscribers if you want to be successful with this feature. It's really about the size of your engaged audience. So you can have like a really engaged audience, maybe just got like a couple of hundred super fans, and all of them go and buy shirts. And that's fantastic. Whereas you can have millions and millions of subscribers. But if you don't have that kind of real tight community, then it's going to be harder to sell the merchandise.
And I guess if you currently aren't eligible, it doesn't mean you can't sell merch on your channel.
Yes,
it
of
just
course.
means you're not eligible for this special bookshelf thing.
Yes, absolutely. So it's worth mentioning, for this launch, we're not taking anything away. So for the last several years, we've had the ability to link your channel with an authorized merchandise company, including Teespring and a whole bunch of other merchandise companies that are out there. Okay.
So the last remaining question is for the Creator Insider channel. If you're in the US, you might be seeing a shelf right now underneath this video with some CI merchandise. Number one, give us some feedback on that merch, whether you like those designs or not. Maybe we need to kind of get back to the drawing board, or if you don't see products that you think would be interesting. But the second thing is, you had mentioned to me previously that we can actually direct the profits from those purchases to a charity.
Yes.
All of it. How does that it just happens automatically, or do we need to take the money and then like mail a check to someone? How does that work?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's a really attractive feature that you as a creator can make use of. So when you're setting up a new design on Teespring, then you have the option to either set a set percentage of the profits that go to a charity, or all of the proceeds to go to charity. And you can pick from a whole bunch of charities, whatever cause you're most passionate about, and all of the money is automatically withheld by Teespring and sent over to the charity. And we think that has a couple of distinct benefits. For one, you don't have to worry about collecting the money, making sure you send the right amount off, and coordinating all of that admin. And for two, your viewers know with absolute certainty that yes, this money actually will go to the charity that's been promised. So we think there's a couple of real advantages there. And absolutely for Creator Insider, I think you were saying that we're going to give the proceeds over to charity.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. I mean, there's two options, I guess. Another option is we could sell it at cost and make no profit. The other one is we could sell it at whatever the market rate is and then just donate the money to charity. So it'd be kind of interesting to see what the insiders think would be most interesting. I personally think if we could find a charity that maybe supports, arts for kids or something that ties into like being a creator, that would be neat, but maybe we'll see what the viewers think.
Totally agree.
Last question for you. The Insider Nation is fantastic about giving great feedback around product decisions and different kinds of things. Are there stuff that you guys are talking about in terms of how to improve the product or where to take the product in the future that you want to get some quick feedback on?
Yes, absolutely. So really, if you're a creator and you're watching this channel, would really just love if you can get set up. It's a relatively lightweight process, and give it a go and let us know how you find the setup process and if there's anything you'd like to see us improve either about the setup process or the actual selling process. So maybe you hear some feedback from your viewers, maybe they've got some big asks, they want different kinds of merchandise to be available, or you want to be able to promote it in a different way. That's all really valuable feedback for us as we go from this first version and we iterate forwards and build the best experience over the next couple of years.
Oh, I don't want to sign up my team for work, but let me just brainstorm with you along those lines. Is there a way to promote the merch from the end screen today?
Yes, using the merchandise cards.
Got it.
So you can go through and set up a merch card in the end screen editor and put in a link to your store, and then you can have it there. You have your subscribe call out, you can have a featured video, and you can also feature your merchandise. So absolutely, great tip for success is put your merchandise right there up on the end screen in addition to the shelf, and also put it in the description so that it's promoted everywhere that a viewer might be looking. You want to make sure that if your viewer is thinking like, wow, that merch looks great, I really do want to buy some, wherever they go to look, it's there.
Very exciting. Well, everybody go to YouTube Studio Beta, see if that monetization tab is on the left-hand side. And if it is, please set up the merch trial. I think I actually did it on a test account for one of my kids' channels, and it was super easy, and they had a great time. I don't think we sold any external merch.
Not yet.
But Grandma bought a bunch of t-shirts, so that was a win for the kids. We'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, keep it real.